All right, when I say foreign policy, what pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably things like borders, trade deals, maybe even war. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? Today, we're exploring a really powerful idea that foreign policy isn't just about power, it's about relationship design. So let's get into it. Yeah, so let's start with that fundamental question. What even is foreign policy? And for most of us, the answer is usually all that heavy stuff. We're talking about managing borders, negotiating trade deals, building alliances, and yeah, the grim reality of war. We always talk about defending the national interest. And look, that's all true, but it's only part of the story. It's actually deeply incomplete. So here's where it gets interesting. There's a much deeper question we could be asking. Instead of just focusing on what a country wants from the world, what if we asked, what kind of partner is this country becoming? That simple shift in perspective, well, it reframes everything. It takes us from thinking about transactions to thinking about character. Okay, so in this new way of thinking, the most important currency isn't money or military might. It's trust. But this isn't some, fuzzy, feel-good idea. Here, trust means legibility. Basically, it means you're predictable in a good way. A trustworthy state is one where its words and its actions line up, so other countries can figure out what it's doing without constantly panicking. And that kind of predictability isn't a weakness. It is a hard strategic asset. So let's put these two ideas side by side. It's like a tale of two states. You've got the trustworthy state. It's consistent, it's principled, and it's fair. It builds credibility over time. Then you have the unserious state. And, well, they're all over the place. They're moralistic when it's convenient, but totally opportunistic when it matters. That kind of behavior is just strategically expensive because it burns through that one crucial asset, trust. And that gets to a really crucial point. Foreign policy is cumulative. You don't just get to hit the reset button after a bad decision. Every promise you keep, every treaty you break, it all gets recorded on this global ledger. Because as the saying goes, the world keeps receipts. Now, of course, countries still have all the usual tools in their toolkit, right? We all know about diplomacy, military power, trade agreements, sanctions, all that stuff. And these are all necessary parts of how things work. But here's the pivot. The tools themselves, they're actually neutral. Think about it. A tariff can be defensive or it can be predatory. An alliance can be about stability or it can be about aggression. So the real question isn't whether a tool is hard power or soft power. The real question is, does this action open up more possibilities for the future or does it narrow them down? And all of this is building towards an even bigger idea because the entire playing field has changed. The old way of thinking was obsessed with territory, with lines on a map. But today, the most important political space, it isn't on any map at all. It's our shared commons. And when we talk about this commons, what do we actually mean? Well, we're talking about huge global challenges. Things like the climate, global health and pandemics, the safety of AI, the health of our oceans, and even what happens in the orbital space above our heads. These are the real frontiers of policy in the 21st century. And here's the thing about these problems. They just don't respect borders. A carbon molecule doesn't stop at a border crossing. A virus doesn't need a passport. This reality completely changes what it means to be a sovereign nation. Suddenly, sovereignty becomes a team sport. Okay, so for all on a team now, what's the playbook? How do we actually build this shared future? Let's take a look at the blueprint. All right, method number 1. It's all about building things that are made to last. We have to build durable institutions because good intentions are just not enough when you're facing massive, long-term problems. And we have some absolutely brilliant examples of this in history. Think about it, the Montreal Protocol. That gave us a framework to literally heal the ozone layer. CERN in Europe gave countries that were once bitter enemies a massive shared science project. And the International Space Station turned Cold War rivals into roommates in orbit. Institutions like these give cooperation a permanent address, a budget, and a staff. They make working together a daily habit, not just a one-off summit. Okay, on to method number 2. This one is all about the quality of the interactions between countries. Are we engaging with others just to extract value for ourselves, or are we trying to create a fair exchange that benefits everyone involved? And the contrast here is really stark. Extraction is the old model, right? It's about winning the deal today, getting what you want right now, even if it creates resentment down the road. Think colonial empires or totally one-sided trade deals. Fair exchange is the opposite. It's about finding mutual benefit. It's about asking, hey, what can we offer? But also, what can we be humble enough to learn from you? That's how you build relationships that actually get stronger over time. All right, method number 3. This one moves beyond the high-level stuff, presidents and prime ministers. It's all about fostering the diplomacy beneath diplomacy, the millions of little connections between everyday people. And this isn't just some feel-good platitude. It is backed by a ton of solid social science. What you're seeing here is something called the contact effect. A massive review of over 500 studies found something really simple but powerful. When people from different groups actually meet and work together, prejudice almost always goes down. It turns out that real human contact is one of the best tools we have for breaking down barriers. And you know what? We actually already do a lot of this. Think about student exchange programs like Fulbright or Erasmus, where you live and study in another culture. Or sister city partnerships, where, say, city planners from 2 different countries share notes. Even professional rotations, sending teachers, nurses, or engineers abroad to work and learn. All these things create this thick web of human relationships that makes it way harder to just see another country as the enemy. So that begs the question, what if we took this idea and really scaled it up? What if we created permanent, physical places where this kind of collaborative work could happen every single day, focused on our biggest shared problems? This leads to a really bold proposal, a kind of institute of collaboration. Imagine these international centers dedicated to our biggest shared problems. A hub for climate adaptation, one for pandemic surveillance, a center for AI safety, a place for figuring out a circular economy, for managing space. These would be places where the world's best minds could come together, not to represent their countries, but to represent humanity and solve a problem as one team. So, this all brings us back to a really fundamental question. If we actually did all this, if we adopted this new way of thinking, what would success even look like? How would we know if we're winning? Well, maybe the answer is that we have to completely redefine what national pride even means. The old kind of pride was zero-sum, right? It was about feeling big by making someone else feel small. But there's another kind of pride we could aim for, an international pride. That's the feeling you get when your country contributes to something so huge, so important, that no single flag could ever take credit for it alone. And really, that's the big idea we want to leave you with. That the best foreign policy isn't about the pursuit of dominance. It's about the construction of a world where countries can become proud, truly proud, of what they can build with one another.